We decided one daily segment wasn't enough for Bill Bush and Bill's Thrills, so we turned it into a week-long podcast recap. Here's Bill's Thrills Rewrapped, sponsored by Acres Equipment on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Okay, I was out in my garage doing some stuff the other day, and I came across something that brought this whole thing up. This is a little bit more on a serious note.
You got headline.
Yes, that's that. Cool parenting tips. The power of the pen. The lost niche of the handwritten note. Today's world, send a text. 8% to 92% on the difference between sending a text over a handwritten note. 8% of people really care about it. A note, 92% care about it.
Can't take you seriously in those glasses.
First, it's just more memorable. When you have a note written to you, you open it up to read it. If there's a note left for you, then, I got this cool text. Note,
God, yes.
overrides it 100%. Yeah. Second, the length is irrelevant. It doesn't be a long note. Any length of the note is fine.
Right.
Third, shows commitment. Shows some form of commitment to write the note. Here's the fourth one, the most important. This is the most important part. It creates a historical log of information.
It does.
Because like when I found in my drawer was I had all my notes.
What goes through your mind during your
I had
day?
all my notes right there because you track all these things. Can you imagine the historical notes? You imagine your grandma passes away, age 89. It's like, what are you guys doing? We're just going through her phone looking at these texts. No, we're going through this box of notes she's had the people have sent her for the last 80 years. We're just going through her phone, seeing what people text her. No, so
don't go through my text.
It's
when
historical.
I die, please.
I mean,
stay away from my
There needs to be an app that's connected to your ability to live that your phone just blows up upon your last breath.
Because
right, Bill, that was
because you
fascinating.
save notes, you file notes. I mean, shoe boxes of notes. I laminated notes. I have notes from my first coaching job to my last coaching job to from the first day I coached to the last day I coached at Nebraska. Got all kind. I got notes from 80-year-old ladies at Holy Ghost. I've got them. They sent them to me last year. It was incredible at that. It's way more meaningful than parents. Here's the key now: have a plan for your kids. Don't tell them to write a note. Write them a note. No, there needs to be a basket on your counter with notes in it. Already have you got sticky notes, you got your thank you notes, you have all your notes, you have stamps in it, you have that. So if you just tell your kid, go write a note. He won't do it. It's like, go to the basket, get the note, write it down for us right there. Then adults, for all you guys in here, leave a note on your wife's car and see how your day goes. How's it go? Yeah, it goes really good. The power of the pen. The last niche of the handwritten note.
That was great, Bill.
Hey, yeah, say it again. Power of the pen.
The lost niche of the handwritten note.
Grandma. Let's
Go through
Grandma's text.
I don't want to go through Grandma's text.
No, leave Grandma's phone alone. That's great, Bill. I think that was a cool parenting tip.
I just think people are in such a hurry now.
Yeah,
People are in such a
so
hurry.
shoot them a text. How about
Yeah,
writing them a note?
People don't sit down. I just know that I'm constantly in a hurry.
Do you know the historical things? The number of things, and I got cool notes when I was working. I would take them and I'd go to the laminator. I'd laminate them.
God,
and
you have
save
time.
them.
Yeah, that's
Because
you got to make time.
to have things back like that and have in the historical value. Can you imagine if you had notes from that like my dad wrote to my mom like in 1952.
That'd be beautiful.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
But you don't have the text,
No,
so history gets dropped. History gets dropped.
Just gets dropped.
When the
It
phone
does.
is gone. It's like, oh man, I got the most incredible text today. No, I got the most incredible note today.
Yeah.
I got a letter in the mail. You're not going to believe it. The handwritten note.
Yeah.
There was something about growing up, you'd get home from school, my dad would have been home for lunch, and he would leave a note for me to do the dishes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just imagining, like, if I had been born later and then it would have been a text,
Yes.
it wouldn't hit the same for the,
I wouldn't hit
No.
the scrawled, like, terrible handwriting of basically do the dishes or don't be here when I get home.
Oh, yeah,
like, that was
exactly.
basically
Whoa. I love it.
like, there would always be this, like, sort of threat in there, like,
Yeah.
either just do this or you do not want to be around.
When you walked into the house as a kid, you looked at the counter.
Yeah.
There, wherever the area was, there
It
was
was
an
like a
area.
bulletin
There
board,
was
but
an
it was a
area.
counter,
There was an
yeah.
area that was like, hey, always look for a note. You never
Yeah.
came
I think
home
so, yeah.
home for 3 hours and something. They come home like, did you read the note? No. Where was it? Like, no, everyone read the note.
Right.
You read the note
Yeah,
when
if
you
it was
came
there,
in.
yeah.
The handwritten note, it could
A
be
handwritten note.
changes your life.
The handwritten note.
Like that.
Just
Anything
the
from the
sloppy
textures?
print.
We
Cursive.
got textures here. We got textures from Bill's Thrills. Let's see. Someone says, let's see here. My mother would leave us a list of chores in the backside of junk mail envelopes in cursive.
Yes. Incredible. Yeah. History.
Junk mail.
History.
Someone says, I just left my note on my wife's steering wheel this week, and she thought it was so great and made her day.
See?
Also
See?
leave my kids notes in their lunch bags. They love it. You are dead right on this one, Bill. That's from Brian.
Thank you, Brian. The handwritten note. The power of the pen.
The power of the
The power of the
Someone
pen.
says, I often go spend the weekend at my grandma's in St. Paul, Nebraska, home of Dorothy Lynch, by the way. The
Oh,
dressing.
incredible.
And says, if she's not home, she will leave me a handwritten note, and it means a lot.
The
power?
The power of the pen. The power of the pen. Right here.
Someone from Illinois says, my mom would leave candy on the note. That way we couldn't say we didn't see it.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's incredible
Smart.
thought. Yeah. The instruction that got handed down through the note was just incredible.
laminated.
Laminated.
notes.
I've got a bunch of them. I got letters from my parents that I've laminated.
Yep.
I have them like that. I'll have them forever.
Nyla says, handwritten notes are often what makes the best tattoos later on.
Oh, hello.
Yes, there you go. There you go.
Never thought of that.
I'm gonna get a ticket tattoo. I'm getting.
ticket?
What's that?
Say it.
The ticket. Let's say
Where are
the
you getting
ticket.
it? On your shoulder?
No. I'll do that with it. I'll intertwine it with my barbed wire on the bicep.
Good idea. On the bicep.
On the bicep.
Because
Yeah.
you've been doing those band workouts.
Yeah, I'm doing the band workout.
You're really emphasizing your
tries and traps
and
buttocks.
But there was. Someone says, Bill should be a marriage counselor. Handwritten note to your wife gains a lot of points.
It's a lot of points. I would be awesome. Hello, Trina and Larry.
you could do it.
Trina and Larry said, "How you guys doing
Just a
today?
counselor.
How you guys doing today? Good. All right. Let's say, hey, this is the safe zone here. You're in a safe zone. Let's open up a little
Set
bit.
up shop here.
It's that right out. Right. I could go in the green room. I could go in the
Yeah.
green room there and just talk. What's going on in your lives? Let's hear through it. Let's talk through these things.
People
Talk
would
through
come
this right
come
now.
to the ticket.
Yes, come to the ticket.
Come
They
here.
get coffee at the mill.
And-
they get crumb cake, and they come into the
That's
green
you.
room, and I solve marriages.
You could do.
I would be really
just
good at that.
counseling in general.
You guys
Yeah.
do have the opportunity to have like a verbal and Landers type column
Yes.
every week
We
from
do.
Bill.
we
People could send
practically
in
do.
they could send in their questions
If they
and Bill
could-
could answer with life advice.
Breakers, if you need, if you have some things you need some help with, yeah,
Incredible
Yeah,
last
message in.
15 minutes.
That
This has been
was
an incredible last 15 minutes.
Back to the FSPs.
Oh, no.
Going right back to the FSPs. Okay? The beginner's guide to being fantastic at field storming.
Okay.
The beginner's guide
I
to
like
be
that.
fantastic at field storming. The giddiness of getting on the grass.
Subhead.
Put yourself in the spot of being the stormer. You are now the stormer. First, you don't just dip your toe in this event. You don't dabble. You don't dabble in field storming. No, you gotta be like, I'm going, and you have to pre-know because you don't field storm where all of a sudden it's like at the 1 second notice. You know well in advance. Hey, if they make this field goal, we're storming, or we're up by 10 and we have the ball, we're storming. So you know. Second. You must exhibit your inner barnyard cat-like agility.
Ooh,
you
because-
must be able to move quick. There's thousands of people coming hard. You have to be able to understand that. Third,
Head on a swivel.
here's the key: evaluate the leap. Evaluate the leap. Generally, you're jumping down onto the field.
Yeah,
Generally,
yeah.
you're coming.
Yeah.
So you have to evaluate. You have to be like a paratrooper. When you land, you got to hit and go.
Yeah,
you
that's a good
You
point.
cannot be just kind of.
That's a
So
good point.
before you're getting, hey, I'm going.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to jump. It's about a 6-foot
Size it
jump.
up. Size
Size
that
it
up.
up. Bend
Yeah.
with your knees when you hit.
Yeah.
So you're already fourth.
You could break an ankle.
Fourth, disregard everything when you start. Trespassing, go after it right there. Go wild, swing your arms, avoid authority. right
Avoid
there.
authority is a big one.
Big one. And
you
locate-
might run into authority.
Locate friends later. Don't try to all of a sudden.
Yes.
Where's Kenny at?
Find him.
Where's
Yeah. Don't panic
Trina?
if you lose
No,
everybody.
hey,
Just go.
we'll see you afterwards. We're all, once you
Got
get the
cell
field,
phones.
just go crazy. You'll find where I'm on the 40.
You got your
you
cell
can text
phone.
someone.
You got your
go
cell phone.
crazy.
Yeah.
Fifth, gather a memory. Gather a memory. Grab a handful of grass, or get some of those pellets from the
good
field
idea. Pellets.
trip.
Get the
So
pellets.
every time there was a big win on the road in my coaching career, I always grabbed grass, and I would take it and I'd mail it to my dad.
Nice.
I would take it. Mail them to my dad. So it's pretty
So you
cool.
grabbed, like, what, give me
yes.
some grass
Yes, I
example.
have a bunch of pellets from Iowa last year.
Did you?
Yeah,
Oh,
a
very
bunch
nice.
of pellets from Iowa.
What'd you
yes.
put them in? Like,
What's
it
that?
was a
Little. Actually, I brought them in my pocket. I went down on the field, and the security guy's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Yeah, don't worry about it."
Yeah, don't-
Yeah, we're.
We just beat you. Just
Hey,
leave me
listen,
alone.
yeah, what are you gonna do? Fire me? I'm out of here in about 6 hours, buddy.
Hey, you should bring a. I mean, one thing you could add on there is bring a baggie.
Yeah, bring a baggie. It'd be a nice thing. Sixth, okay. If you want to see the coaches or the players, you actually want to see them. Work yourself to where they exit the field, because everyone goes to the middle of the field. When the players work their way out of the deal, if you want to actually see the coach
Pay
or the
attention.
player,
Yeah.
you'll be able to see them as they exit.
Yeah.
Is the key.
That's reconnaissance.
Yes.
Pay attention.
Yeah, and then in the end, the last thing for being a field stormer,
Yes.
there's only one way to be legendary status, and that's a photo of you on the goalpost. That's the only way you go legendary status is a photo
You gotta
of you
get up there,
on
though.
the goalpost when the goalpost is
gotta
coming
get up
down.
there.
Are
All
you
of a sudden-
climbing it, or are you getting someone putting you?
They'll
raising you up
get
there?
you up there.
Okay.
If you want up there, they'll get you up there. Take a look at Tennessee last year. They hauled it out.
God, that's
I
beautiful.
think they threw it in the river or
They
something.
did. They did throw it in the river. They, in fact, threw it in the river.
That river right by the
They
stadium.
took it out of the stadium and put it in the river.
that's
But
a
if
river,
there's
man.
legendary pictures right now of like, who are you? That's me. I'm on the goalpost. That's how
you're
you-
right, but you got to get up there. That's
gotta
the
know
key.
that
You got to
stuff.
scale the goalpost.
Yes, the beginner's guide to fantastic, to being fantastic at field storming, the giddiness of getting on the
I
ground.
just love that a coach is in favor of this. So I can see them saying, "Nah, you know what? No, he likes it. He likes
You
it."
got to know what you're doing.
Yep.
You got to go into the game. So right now,
all
you
those
should
are
have an
very-
idea when you go to a game. So like every fan going to the game, Michigan at Nebraska. They should know, hey, there's a
This
chance
is
we
the
storm.
FSP.
If I'm a student, I'm like, hey, there's a really good chance that I'm going.
They should re-listen to this.
Yes, we should. Probably should get play. We probably should.
I'd probably be on the field if we won.
Oh, I would love to see if I saw Jake Sorensen
With
on
underwear.
the field with underwear.
Expect
Yeah,
it.
underwear.
Expect it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Expect it.
Yeah, expected underwear.
If Nebraska, if Nebraska wins, you will expect me on that
Yes,
field.
absolutely.
I'm going to be there.
Okay.
Sip will not. Well, you'll
And
be
grab
there
some-
for media.
I'm not gonna
Well, you'll
be on
be
the-
on media stuff. You'll be
Yeah.
on the field already.
It won't
Technically,
be
All of a sudden,
storming the field.
they're just showing people leaping onto the field, and Sipple, just his face appears, just leaping over.
It'd be really weird.
It'd be really weird, but it'd be so
Shirt
much
off.
fun. Shirt off.
by the way, one last thing on Bill's Thrills. We received a text on the text line from Laura.
Laurel? That'd be my wife?
That'd be Laura.
Okay.
Laura Bush said she sent a picture of the note that you put on her car this morning.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Put a note
What's
in
the
her-
note?
You said handwritten notes.
Handwritten
or a big
note.
thing. No, she didn't put what the note was. Just a picture of the note on
she
the
say it?
actual window.
It just says fish. Because she had to load some fishing gear. I've sent more thoughtful ones. But she did send me a she goes, yeah, like this. Cause,
Oh, there it is, yeah. I see it.
Because Garrett Nelson had
Do you see that
sent
right
me
there? Sip? It's
Yeah, I
right
see
there.
it.
It's the
Yeah, I
letter
got
on the.
Yeah.
Garrett
The
Nelson sent
wipers.
me a
The
handwritten
wipers.
note.
He did.
And so that she sent that the other day, like, hey, like this. Yes. But I leave notes.
Garrett
I
is-
leave notes often for my wife.
Garrett is in where?
Cincinnati.
Ooh, yeah, he's on the practice
With
squad.
the Bengals.
Before I get out of here,
Any texters?
yeah, we do. Someone
Yeah.
says, imagine Nebraska storming tomorrow. What a sight that would be. Someone
It'd be a
says,
big
when's the last time it actually happened in Nebraska? When's the last time the field was stormed? 90s at some point? They stormed against Oklahoma in 01, and I don't think
it
they
happened in Oklahoma. I know they stormed. Because I can remember being on the headset and Coach Osborne yelling at somebody to get off the goalpost.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were on the goalpost.
What year?
That'd be about 91.
Yeah, I think that was
about 91.
that was absolutely. I mean, the fans came on the field before the game was over, and that caused some consternation.
Yeah, that's also a thing to mention with the Stormers. You don't want to be the one guy that makes the break early and there's still time on the clock. So there's usually a couple of those guys.
Well, there was a lot of them.
Happened to Colorado. They stormed early.
They did.
Someone says, if the Huskers win, I'm shutting the combine down for the day and heading to Lincoln.
Nice.
Shut it down.
Shut it down.
We're going to Lincoln, honey. We're going to
Shut it
party.
down.
Shut it down.
Going to go party in Lincoln.
I'm telling you right now.
Shut it down.
I said it's going to be an incredible game. It will be.
Should be good.
I'm saying the score's tied at halftime, somewhere in like the 9-9, something like that.
If it's somehow out of hand at halftime, it's very disappointing because of the way they played
The
all
way they
season long in
played.
the first half.
The way that because Michigan's not been explosive,
They haven't.
not done that, so it would be very shocking for it to be out of anything like that. So, like I said, I'm expecting a great game.
Back to more of Bill's Thrills Rewrapped Sponsored by Acres Equipment on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
He looks like a
This is
state
the new
senator.
flip. He just opens up the
State senator. That's what he looks like.
Yeah.
State
Bill
Senator
Thrills,
Bush.
Bugaboo Tuesday, things that bother me. The refrain from the chain. The refrain from the chain. The egotistical elimination of the magical yet annoying United States mail chain letter.
Oh, wow.
Today's society
Egotistical.
misses this phenomenon.
The refrain of the chain.
The refrain of the
I was
chain.
going to turnover chain.
No.
No.
The phases arrived via mail carrier. It arrived in the mail. The system, you received a chain letter, meaning that if you don't send it out 9 or more within 24 hours, all hell breaks loose. It builds on your bad karma. You're going to have bad karma. You're going to have monetary losses, superstition of bad luck, loss of limbs potentially. It was this: if you didn't keep the chain letter going in the day. Obviously, it was hard at that. It was required like that. You had to obtain your own stamps, envelopes, and handwritten addresses to send the chain back out. You're so upset when you get them. You're so mad at your friend. Like, why would you do this? Why would you send me a chain letter that is just incredibly bad to really get done? But you don't want it on your plate for this reason. All of a sudden, you say, like, you know what? Stupid chain letter, throw it away. Next day, something bad happens.
Oh, shit.
Really? Maybe you should have done the chain letter because it says right here, bad things will happen to you. It's right in the print.
Right.
And we threw it away.
Yeah.
And it just ends everything. So, but here's the deal. Electronic email chains are now the thing. So if electronic email chain letters were a book, what kind of book would they be?
I don't know.
I'll tell you what it would be. A joke book. A joke book.
Why'd you say that?
Because do it on a computer. Oh, send to 9 people. Come on. Take the work, put the time in. Take the time, put it. But here's the real one that everyone, that you want and you miss so bad is the get rich Ponzi pyramid scheme one. That was the best.
I fell victim.
That was it was the best. Its bottom line is like, if you mail out cash, then the pyramid scheme will feed the engine of cash flow back to you. So basically, if you send out like $1, $9 in 9 different envelopes, you'd get like $3,800 back. It'd just start coming to
Seems
you
like that would be
in waves. Unsustainable, yet mesmerizing.
Yes.
And so
For a
when you got that at age 20, hold it. I can send
Right.
out $9,
Right.
and I'm going to get $3,800 back in the next year.
Right.
I'll get letters every day of cash.
Right.
How incredible! Whoever came up with that thought to just start this thing. And I did some Google. It can't.
Did some Google.
It's unsustainable. You can't do it.
No.
It's incredible.
It's
times.
a Ponzi scheme.
But
They're illegal.
Exactly. But I miss
That's the
them.
word scheme.
It's a scheme. It was incredible times. Live mailbox.
That's amazing. Did
Better
you get those in
times.
Pender?
Oh yeah, everyone got them. You got them in the mail.
I can't remember ever getting one.
Oh, you never got one?
No,
Oh, yeah.
Bill, I didn't. I don't think so.
People out there got them. The refrain from the chain.
Here's some response here, Bill, from Bill's Thrills from the text line.
Don't close that. It's too good.
Sanderson, who was at a double eagle
God
golf,
bless
with
Sanderson.
With the hair.
He says, "Holy hell, I forgot about chain letters. I remember my grandma got one once. One of those scam ones with money.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
She got
incredible.
Did she fall victim?
Didn't say for sure.
What if she fell
I think
victim?
It sounds like she might have.
God bless Sanderson. He's been through a lot, and we're with you. We are 100% with you, Sanderson. So I'm not joking around.
Ron says, "Bill, you must get this stuff from the Andy Griffith show."
Which is a great show.
The chain letter episode was a good one on that show.
I never even saw that one.
You need to find it.
I need to find it because I love Andy.
There was a chain letter
I
episode.
love that.
Apparently so. But
Andy Griffith-
according
You
to
can
Ron,
find it.
Yeah, I can find it.
YouTube
according to
that.
Ron.
Just
I'll have-
YouTube it.
I'll have to find that.
Andy Griffith
Yeah.
chain letter episode.
That'd be
Just
incredible.
YouTube it. Tamara will help you.
Someone says we should call the segment Bugabills.
Bugabills.
Not a bad idea.
Bugabills.
Not a bad-
Bugabill Tuesday.
Not a bad idea. Not a bad
Let's
idea.
see.
Bugabill.
Let's see. What about the chain letter where you get a fishing lure and send a fishing
Oh,
lure?
there's another one. Yeah, I forgot about that. Was the same scheme. If you get some fishing lures, you mail out 9, then you'll get like 3,000 back. It's incredible thought. When you first, there's no one that doesn't fall. But when you read it, you're going like, hang on. I think this is worth my risk to send these out because all of a sudden cash starts showing up in my
Hang on.
I'm gonna let this one ride.
Someone says, I'm going to send Bill a chain letter today. What's his address?
No, absolutely not.
Don't do it.
Wrought iron fence.
Right?
Yeah, look for the fence, the new fence. Kent says, oh, my gosh, forgot about the chain letter. So good on the chain letter.
Chain letter.
Sanderson says, no, we did not. We didn't have $9 to send it back.
Refrain
from the chain. So I talked to Jake last night. Jake Sorensen. I
That's
said,
me.
Jake, can I go back to some ball for Wild Card Wednesday? And he
said-
said yes. And I said, because he goes, why? I said, well, Sipple's got some speeches. I want to make sure he's prepared to talk about them.
And he's
when
got one
it gets to
today,
that.
by the way.
Yes.
Thank you.
So I want to talk about
I need to
Take notes. Take notes.
Take notes. The transfer portal and NIL.
Okay.
The demise of college football.
Gee, many Christmas, Bill.
That storyline just isn't true.
Oh.
Not even close.
You got duped.
Not even.
I know. I was like, where are we going
Not
with
even
this?
close.
Okay.
Yes. Regulations on NIL need to be cleaned up. There need to be some things that get better. I want you to just think about right now the 12 teams. I talked about this earlier. The 12-team playoff right now, if today, who would be in it? Georgia, Michigan, Texas, Ohio State, Florida State, Penn State, Washington, Oregon, USC, Notre Dame, Alabama, Oklahoma. Alabama and Oklahoma are 11 and 12.
How about that?
USC probably down
What's
that
that?
list too. But anyway,
What's that?
keep
USC's in there. There were 9.
He said
yeah,
USC.
Yeah, they're down the list.
But here's the thing about the top 12. 6 of them have transfer quarterbacks. Texas has a transfer from Ohio State. Washington, Penix. What if Penix had to stay at Indiana?
Yeah, good point.
What if he had to? He's going to be a Heisman Trophy finalist.
Good point.
He might win it. What about Oregon? Bo Nix. Where would he be at Auburn right now? Winning 8?
Benched.
Winning 8 games instead a potential Heisman Trophy finalist. USC transfer from Oklahoma won the Heisman. Notre Dame. Think it matters that
Hartman?
that Sam's there?
Yeah, Hartman.
They're one defensive play away from being 4th.
Yep.
They would be 4th right now.
God
But the Alabama didn't have one. Oklahoma transfer. Dylan Gabriel is killing it. He's
He is.
passing for 75% this year.
They're crushing it.
He's
in Oklahoma.
absolutely. Think of the fringe teams. UNC's 4-0. Okay, Miami's 4-0, and Kentucky is 5-0, and they have a transfer.
How about that?
Those are the ones that wouldn't be in the playoffs right now.
How about Kentucky at 5-0?
Kentucky at 5-0. Think about the very interesting Washington State. Are they interesting?
Yes.
Unbelievable. Transfer quarterback.
Cam
Or
Ward.
Oregon
What's his name,
State. Are
Cam
they
Ward?
interesting? Very interesting. DJ,
Uiagalelei.
thank you. Old Miss. Are they interesting to watch?
Absolutely.
Jack Dart. Where's
Jackson
he from?
Dart.
Transfer from USC.
Yeah.
That's right.
Like that. Unbelievable. And I'll go through, remember now, Fresno State, 5-0, on the fringe of chance of getting in the playoffs. Like that. Louisville, 5-0 with a transfer quarterback.
Louisville 5-0?
5-0 with a transfer quarterback. So it does these things. Then super interesting. Let's just talk about with this where things are at right now. The product on the field is amazing.
Does it look good to you?
When you watch
looks
the
good to
games,
you.
what do you think? I'm more
I
asking.
thought Michigan looked like a machine.
When
I
you
did.
watch the games, though, when you're watching, were you interested in the Ohio State Notre Dame game?
Yes.
I mean, all these games, the product on the field right now, and everybody gets so worked up that everything is a hit show. Everything's falling apart. Then the foot hits the ball, and everybody's like,
Looks
whoa,
pretty
whoa,
good.
whoa!
Looks pretty
This
good.
is really exciting. The storylines are actually incredible. Virginia Tech and Pitt, sold out crowd.
Was that right?
Both 1 and 3 at Virginia Tech,
Sold out.
crowd. There's not a demise. The things are going the right direction. The theater is unreal. The product is really good. The FSPs are out there, and so like when somebody like, oh yeah, everything's in the crapper. No, it's not. When you turn the film on, you can't wait. Can you wait to watch the games this weekend?
I never can wait.
I mean, they're unbelievable. And so when everybody's like talking about, and then also, it's just such a mistake that was made. 2 things I talked about the other day. The Big Ten made a huge mistake on not immediately going to no divisions.
Yeah, I've used that.
And just
I've
saying,
used that.
use that perfect.
Yeah.
And then this year
That needs to be
also,
true.
they could have gotten, imagine the 12-team playoff this year.
They should have went to it.
I mean, does anyone think right now there's no chance that Georgia can lose?
Oh,
No.
yeah,
No,
they
you don't
almost
think
lost
that.
twice already.
Is there any
It's
chance
open.
that Michigan can lose? Yeah,
Sure, there's a chance.
they can lose. But my point is, all these teams
It's open.
are just incredible. The interest, the storylines, the coverage is awesome. I mean, you're watching the games on TV, the way it's covered, the announcers, the analysts,
God, you
the
love
pregame, everything about it right now. And everybody's like, this summer, oh, this is a mess. This is everything. This is horrible. We're in the crapper. What are we going to do?
Mhm.
NIL's ruined everything. Has it? Really hasn't. There's some things that I know there'll be pushback from fans. I understand that. But right now, when you turn the TV on and you take the rankings, you watch what's going on, there's excitement. Could you imagine the excitement if there was a 12-team playoff? Because right now, there's probably 24 teams that could get in. Probably 24 teams that can get in. And what it's done is now people know that they can go to Washington, they can go to Oregon, they can go to all these schools, and then guess what? They have a chance to be in the playoffs. They have a chance to make a run. So it spread the talent out. It has spread the talent out. And now you have all. Then also, what else is great? Where are we at right now in the season after this week?
I don't know.
Week 6.
Halfway through.
Oh, God, we're halfway.
Halfway through.
Already.
Don't say that.
Yeah, how depressing is that?
It is depressing.
So what do playoffs do?
Extends the season.
Extends the season. More games. What did the NFL do when they're going crazy?
No,
Added a game, didn't
Right.
they?
They did.
They went to 17 games.
The NFL season lasts forever and is beautiful.
It's beautiful. Because
It's not long enough.
Once this college football's, it's not long enough. I agree. And so my point of my Bill's thrill today is like that. We're not.
You're thrilled.
It's not. Yeah, I'm thrilled. I can't
got
wait to
duped
watch.
with his
I
opening.
can't wait to watch games tonight. I did. I suck. I brought you right in. I brought
He's
you
like,
right
God,
in.
Bill.
I know. I was like,
The
where
transfer
are we going
portal
with
and
this?
NIL, the demise of college football. And there's probably some head shakers out there going like, "That's right.
Nope.
That's
And-
right."
and then what
Now
happened?
it's like, no, it's not.
Yeah, I mean, because I was going to say, I don't see it. Like when the season starts.
Do we think in the future of Nebraska football? We're Nebraska fans, right? Do you think the future of Nebraska is dim or bright because of NIL and transfer?
Well, they're
portal?
helped by it. Now the question
They're helped
would be,
by
It's
it.
bright.
The question would be, would the fan of Central Michigan or Toledo or UTEP, would they say, yeah, we're?
There'd be some time, but they have their opportunities still to be able to go into
I hope
the portal.
So. I hope so.
Then you have to talk about it. The most super interesting story of the year is Colorado. It's
Right.
still super interesting.
It is.
It's still they're still
It's-
3-2.
Yeah.
They got blown out once. They came back and played tough again. But the storyline.
Oh yeah,
The storyline is epic.
Oh, yeah.
Is what because think about what was being talked about last year. This time there is no one of this type of storyline. And if they
Nothing.
somehow get to 6 wins, 5 wins, that's incredible.
Incredible
Everybody had them.
story.
I think they had them at 2 wins.
right.
the
that's,
season.
that's
1 or 2, yeah.
1 or 2 wins. And you watch them on the field like that. Besides Oregon, you're like going, huh? That's pretty fun to watch.
Pretty good.
That's pretty good. How about the crowd at Colorado?
Incredible.
I think
Incredible.
Vegas' over/under wins was like 2 to 2.5.
I think it's
for
like
Colorado.
2 and a hook, I
They
think,
covered
is
it
what it
after
was.
3 games. They already had it.
So the storyline is interesting. It's going to keep getting more interesting. Now the NIL, where it's just unlimited or however that is, that's not great. I understand that. They need some sort of regulation on it. But when there's regulations, they also have to be followed because there were regulations in the past, and not everyone followed them.
Right.
Not everyone followed the regulations.
Right.
So you have to be able to follow what those are. And
There's challenges.
there's challenges.
There's always been challenges.
There's always challenges.
Yeah.
There's always
There's
challenges.
always
But if you want to have
God, there's challenges.
for fans, you want fans in the seats. Once people aren't at games, that's when things get very uninteresting.
Right.
It doesn't. When you lose the band marching in, when you miss the tubas, all that stuff going on, then you lose the game. Well, right now these fans, did you see Jordan Hare? Did you see Auburn,
Oh, my
Georgia?
God.
Did you see what that was like there?
That's where it is.
Electric.
Yeah, electric.
Yeah.
I mean, when you get to those games where no one sits, where no one sits the entire game,
Those are beautiful.
They're beautiful. And guess what? Those are still there.
Oh, they're still there.
They're still there, and there's more there.
What?
There's more there than ever.
And we've seen field stormings this year. We've seen people are still excited to be there on the
They're
field.
excited to be there.
FSPs.
Yeah.
They're real.
FSPs.
We saw Ole Miss. We saw that young girl just get clocked.
It
forearm
was so
shiver.
funny.
Clocked.
So funny. Anyway,
So that's
what's the
good,
text
Bill.
line say, Jake?
Who in Columbus?
Bird.
He says 100.
100. Thank you. That's the biggest honor I could get. That's the number one
It's always-
honor I
it's
could get.
always
Someone
says
just says
100.
100. That's the
It's
biggest
always
thing.
says 100
Yeah,
there.
number one big I could
Tyson.
get.
That's Tyson.
That's Tyson.
Yeah.
Chicken
but
is a bird.
Bird in Columbus. Troy says, ask Bill if he thinks that Nebraska could get Arch Manning when he transfers from Texas this year.
You never
Why
know.
not?
You never know what can happen. You never know.
That'd be awesome, by the way.
this. And here's the deal. In recruiting, there's always epic bust. And there's going to be epic bust in NIL recruiting also.
Oh, 100.
It's going to be it was just different. It's a little different now. It's like, hey, we gave him money and he's a bust. And then but again, where the NIL got jacked up is it turned into pay for play instead of NIL. And so, which is you're basing everything off your name, image, and likeness. Because that's not how it was. That's not how it was set up.
Pay for play.
Because that's just how it works. Everything. That's everyone. That's everyone. Everyone was advanced. Oh, Jake's smiling over there.
Just another one from Oak Valley Husker also says 100.
100. God, that
You're
means
getting
so
the
much.
ultimate compliment now.
You have no idea what that means to me.
You don't even need words.
We got to
100.
come up with another.
I love.
Can we
100.
do holla? Can we do
No,
holla?
no, 100.
I don't like.
I like
you saying
100.
holla.
You don't like me saying holla.
No.
It just
And I love
doesn't sound
the
right.
red 100 on the text.
Yeah,
when
no,
you
it's got
text.
that one. Just got
That's the one you get.
That's
The red
what Oak
100.
Valley said the 100 one.
So that means a lot to me. So football, college football,
Sanderson, 100.
College football's in a great place.
I think
In a great place. Everybody thought it was going to be.
We had doubts.
There was
but it's
everything's
going
in,
well.
no, it's a hit show.
But can't you?
It's in the crapper.
Hold on. Can't you have some concerns?
There's
and
always doubts or concerns about
yeah,
everything.
I think
There's not.
yeah. Well, not about everything. I mean, I love my truck. I don't have any doubts or concerns about it.
Even though it's the smaller version of the four.
Stop
door.
it.
Wow.
Stop
I
it.
like a four-door
Bill.
truck. Which one? Not the smallest one you got.
Come on.
Yeah, wow.
I had a big
Shots have been
Silverado
fired
and I
here.
just banged it into everything.
People
Jake knows.
people would shake their heads when he's driving. They'd honk and say, "What's wrong with you?"
I hit everything in that thing. I had to downsize.
You imagine
Yeah,
just hitting
downsize.
everything in your car, just taking it.
I've told the
Bang it
stories,
around,
Jake,
yeah.
how I like hit something. I'd be like, "Oh God," and get out. No problem.
No problem.
Silverados are built really well.
Yeah, unbelievable.
I've hit a pole and I was like, "Oh God." Get out, check
I
out the
tell you
damage.
what,
Nothing.
It's just
There
Just a little
is-
paint on there.
There is such a great feeling when you drive a vehicle that if you bang into something that you don't care, just you don't care. I mean, like my Ford LTD 1977 that rode 8 comfortably, bench seats, AM radio. We constantly had something into it. But the best dent on it forever was me and my dad. We parked the home run in the right field of Pender was the street, and there was a fence, like a snow fence was the deal.
Yeah.
And we're sitting there watching. We're sitting there watching a baseball game, and Dad's in the driver's side. I'm in the passenger side. We still have to watch for a while. Guy hits a home run. Dad's got to lift his arm and just boom right into the car and left this huge dent in the car. It's like, well, that's just part of the risk.
Back to more of Bill's Thrills Rewrapped. Sponsored by Acres Equipment on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We love this.
Bill's Thrills. The colossal collapse of countertop cuisine.
Ooh.
The colossal collapse of countertop cuisine. The corrupt elimination of countertop cooking skills. It starts with the toaster oven. Doesn't exist anymore. It was on everyone's counter. Everyone had a toaster oven, and you cooked everything in it. Especially like in college, hot dog. It didn't matter what it was. You cooked everything in the toaster. You see the glass door, and you can see the element down below. Oh, yeah. And then there'd be crumbs. It'd be a mess. There's always crumbs and crap around it.
Right.
It was
disgusting.
Yeah, it was disgusting. But the toaster oven is no longer walking to someone's house.
No, don't even know what it is.
Don't have no idea.
Right.
Then it got real. Then it got to meat. The fantastic George Foreman.
Oh yeah.
The George Foreman. Everyone had one. They had to have sold 1 billion of them. They had to have sold 1 billion George Foremans. Can you see it on your thing? Kind of had a little bit of an angle to it like that. It was the ribbed on the inside. Think about who's your spokesman? Ex-heavyweight champion of the world. selling something to cook some meat in on your, and guess what? Where are you going to do that? On your counter. You cooked your entire meal. We're going to have garlic bread? Yeah, put it in the toaster oven. Everything was cooked on the counter. It was real life. It was incredible. Ex-heavyweight champion of the world.
George.
Then the mother of all mothers. The Fry Daddy. The Presto Fry Daddy. You have the Presto Fry Daddy.
Yeah.
It was a deep, it was black. It was a deep fryer. It was so you could deep fry anything you wanted on your counter. It was
Presto Daddy?
The Fry Daddy by
Fry
Presto.
Daddy. The Fry Daddy.
The Fry Daddy is a countertop deep fat frying machine. And a lot of times you just kept the same grease in it. You just unplugged it, let it cool down, put a lid on it, next day fire it back up again.
Sounds healthy.
Oh, yeah. It's unbelievable like that. I mean, hot grease like that, just reused
like
numerous times like that. And then it said, and then you just roll with it again just the next day. Now we have an air fryer. Yeah, embarrassing. That means nothing. That means nothing. Then you also had for the...
It means nothing.
It means nothing. No, the Fry Daddy. People will remember the Fry Daddy. And then you get down to the last part for the bonus that's no longer seen either, that was on everyone's counter, the bread maker.
Oh,
The bread maker.
Was that on your counter?
There's bread makers were everywhere. Right, that was a bonus. That weren't
That
always
was a
there.
bonus,
Right,
yeah,
but the
that's a
ones that
bonus.
were always there were the toaster oven, the George Foreman, and the Fry Daddy. From Presto.
I just love the name of it.
Sounds like a
Presto
deal.
Fry Daddy. It's the colossal collapse of countertop cuisine, the corrupt elimination of countertop cooking skills.
Good God, you nailed it. That's a lot. It's a lot to think about. What you
It's a
just
lot.
laid
Gotta
out there.
consume that real quick.
Yeah.
So you laid out a lot.
I can't believe you didn't have a Fry Daddy.
I did not have
Everyone
a
had a
Fry Daddy.
Fry Daddy.
Well, the text line had Fry Daddies. Ready for some response?
I'd like to hear some response.
This is from PF Flyer. Says we took our Fry Daddy on spring break.
Yes.
They
Nice.
took
Yeah.
travel with it.
You travel with it, yeah, because you just
Nice.
I mean, in college, you would use the same grease just over and over and over again. You didn't care. Just throw some French fries in it, fry them up. It was hot grease on your counter, bubbling hot grease on your counter. Yeah.
From Ron. Ron, I don't know if it's your father, Ron, but
Could be.
someone says we had a Fry Daddy on the text line.
That's
Ron
not.
says
That's
that.
not that. That's not his dad.
Yeah.
You don't think so?
No. He would be more elaborate.
Sanders is with us.
Yeah.
He
With the
says,
hair.
he says, where'd he go? He says, when the Fry Daddy came out, it was like a revolutionary. I loved that thing.
Yes, it was. It changed your life. It
Did
changed
you have
your
a Fry
life.
Daddy sip?
You didn't
No.
have one.
No, I can't even.
That's
envision
shocking.
one.
You don't know what one even is.
Yeah, I'd have to look and see what it is.
It's like taking it on a spring break. Yeah,
I need a
that's-
picture.
Come on.
I need a photo. Maybe we had one. I didn't know it.
Now, Bill, you already responded to this, but Hazelbear says in the text line, hey, Bill, have you heard of an air fryer? It's all of those things. Why? What's your problem with the air fryer,
Yeah,
Bill?
no, that's just an air fry. No. We cook stuff in hot grease. That's how countertop
Come on.
cooking was done.
You're very
Or
hard
you
on the air
took
fryer.
a burger and you smashed it between the George Foreman. It was unbelievable.
No, yeah.
The George Foreman, you cooked everything.
Oh, God, this
You
is
did
good.
everything in the George Foreman. What do you got?
Wet Blanket's with us, and this is not a wet blanket take. It's just a very proper take. He says, when I was a kid in the 80s, changing the Fry Daddy oil was one of my weekly chores.
See?
Okay, he was a child. He was a child in the 80s.
When I was a kid in the 80s, changing the Fry Daddy oil was
So he's
one of
our
my
age.
weekly
He's our
chores.
age.
That was nothing to have all of a sudden just come in like that and someone yell like that mom yell at you like, hey, plug in the Fry Daddy quick. Plugged it in. That's what you did. In college, everyone had a Fry Daddy. It was on everyone's counter.
Jeremy says, wait, were we supposed to get rid of our Fry Daddy? I still have it.
Well, I don't know why you wouldn't. They're incredible.
No,
They're
you don't have to
incredible.
get rid of
Don't have
it.
to get rid of it.
No.
They're still incredible.
Do they have
by,
them in bars?
by Presto?
Do they have
Yeah,
them
that's a
in
good
bars?
question. Were they in bars though or not?
No, I mean I have
Okay.
no knowledge of that.
You didn't go to bars.
I didn't.
How would you know?
You would know. He'd have no idea.
Yeah.
David says that the Fry Daddy always had Schwann's chicken fingers frying in it.
Yes.
Always.
Schwann's chicken fingers.
Schwann's.
It was simple. It was the most unbelievable things that you could just the popping crackling sound when
Yes.
you drop your stuff into
Yeah.
it. It's always the same thing about the critical thing though is if you drop in frozen food, then you have a
Yes.
chance for a bubble over, and you have a chance for a turkey fryer situation.
Oh,
Yeah, which could happen.
Nate in Dorchester,
Dorchester.
says making deep fried Oreos in the Fry Daddy, wrapping a biscuit around that chocolate cookie, then sprinkling powdered sugar on it when you're done. Those were the good old days. Nate in Dorchester.
Better
biscuit?
times.
Oh.
Better times.
wrap a biscuit around an Oreo?
I guess.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
That's
think so,
interesting.
yeah.
I've
It is
never had that. I'd
interesting.
like to try that.
Yeah, that's interesting. I wouldn't rule that out.
Anonymous Cubs fan says a small piece of you died when you lose the plastic Fry Daddy lid.
Exactly. So the lid was you had to let it cool down and put the lid back on. So when you got done cooking, you just unplugged it, you let it sit for 45 minutes to an hour, just put the lid back on. The next day, you just pulled the lid off, plug it back in, hot grease again.
What was
Let's
the most
roll.
common thing you would put in a Fry Daddy?
Well, the chicken fingers were big.
Yep.
Just French fries. Just
French
French fries was big to put in there.
Makes
That
sense.
was very common. So fish. You cook
Fish?
fish. You cook fish in
Cod?
there. Yeah, cod. Yes.
Whitefish.
White fish.
Regarding the George Foreman
Yes.
grill, some Run the Ball club member says this on the text line. I learned to cook on a George Foreman. Chickens, burgers, you name it. That was my go-to.
It was everything.
I had a George
and
Foreman.
you cooked all your meals on it. Where'd you cook at? On the countertop.
The countertop.
That's where your meal was done. That's what happened to us. There was one time. Let me read it again.
Yes. Headline.
The colossal collapse of countertop cuisine.
Good job. That's alliteration.
The corrupt elimination of countertop cooking skills.
Did Laura say that's alliteration, Bill? Good job.
She did not say that.
Somebody did text in that saying great alliteration this morning. Jake and Hickman said wonderful alliteration skills, Bill.
Yeah.
So Steve Schindler one time he made prime rib for everyone, for the family. Is it Christmas time? Guess what? It's a true story now. He cuts it all. Everybody gets their prime rib, and it's finally like Steve, we can't eat this. This is raw. It's not even close to being cooked. So guess what we did piece by piece? Threw it in the George Foreman.
Piece by piece.
Piece by piece. Threw it on the Foreman, smashed it down, heated her up. The next plate.
Oh. No way.
Gonna go back in time for a teachable moment.
I love it.
I love that we use the term teachable moment in coaching all the time. It's going to be a teachable moment.
I like the new flip, by the way. It just flips the thing open. It's beautiful.
Bill's Thrills, cool parenting tips. Let's go back to the 70s. We're going to try the 70s and see if that helps at all for us right now.
You got my rapt attention.
Lock in on this one.
I
thought this through in such detail. How to have a blast on your bike.
Oh, God. Thank you.
Old school techniques.
God, this is going to be regal.
To start off with, the mother of all mothers, you don't see it anymore. The mother of all mothers, the wheelie. Just the wheelie. When you can, the
absolutely.
And then you'd ride the wheelie.
100.
Remember that you'd be going, then you start to lose it a little bit to the side, then you rebound.
Yep.
I mean, that was the best.
Oh yeah.
Just seeing just how long you could get a wheelie going.
You
did it and for a block, and then also you did them like all day, every day, just doing wheelies.
Not even it almost became second nature.
Yeah, just do a wheelie.
I'm serious.
And you don't see. When's the last kid you saw doing a wheelie?
Serious.
Tell me the last guy you saw on a bike doing a wheelie. Don't see it.
Probably stolen.
No, and guess what? And it also was the cool kids that could do the wheelies really good.
Yeah.
They were the cool kids.
You had the little front wheel.
Yeah. That didn't help. That was actually a detriment to it right there. The next thing, the skid.
Oh God, yes.
The skid.
Oh yeah.
Especially back when you had the bikes with no gears. Remember, you had to lock it up with the right.
It sometimes made a sound.
Oh yeah, you'd lock it up. So the key to the skid was this. Okay, was that to have it perfect, to lock up, you have the timing like that, but you'd love to have it with a little bit of light dust or gravel on pavement. Push it so it went easier because you wanted to flip it around when you came up.
Bill, what I would offer to this is, if a good skid was like a good slide in baseball.
Exactly. And usually you
whip around.
So my dad was a great slider. In the second base, he'd pop up, hit the second base and pop up. That's what that was. You'd whip it around with one foot down, whip it all the way around.
Oh God.
The skid was, I don't see the skid. I don't see anybody skidding. Don't see it going on. Concerns me. The light dust and the gravel makes a difference. Here's the next one I don't see. And I loved it. This is generally more of a downhill, not a steep hill, but more of a downhill. Or if you're rolling pretty fast for this one. No hands. Going no hands on a bike.
Yep.
I'd go maybe blocks of with no hands.
Yep.
That was more 10-speed based.
Yeah.
That was a little bit more 10-speed based.
For sure.
That was what it helps.
Yeah, if you had big handlebars, it was hard to do.
It had more of a 10-speed.
You could do it,
but you had to have that. Just you'd be going. Could you be more dangerous in our day? Going 25 miles an hour, hands off the deal, and no helmet.
Some serious danger.
Couldn't be any worse. Could not be any worse. Then there was this one. The So Cool Pool Arrival. Do you remember the side dismount? When you'd be riding your bike and then you'd take your right leg off and you'd just be riding on one side of the bike. Yeah. You're just coasting in. It's just because you know what? You want to be off the bike quick. You don't want to be jacking around.
Dismount.
The side dismount. You'd be going.
I didn't do that a lot.
But the side dismount was big. Yeah, I like the side dismount a lot. That was a big part. There's two things to finish up.
That's a good one, though.
We have a bonus, then we have an ending. We have one of those. The bonus is the ramp.
The ramp.
Oh
yeah.
Building the ramp, and this
never worked. But...
No. Here's what I wrote down. The ramp was always flawed. The ramp was always
never
flawed.
Worked.
Most of the wrecks happened before the ramp. You never even went off the edge of the ramp. Never happened.
No.
You went through the whole thing. You build the ramp. The ramp was flawed. It was bad.
Yeah.
And now this was based on who? Evel Knievel.
Yes, it was.
We grew up with Evel Knievel, so it was always like, let's build a ramp.
Yeah, I always thought I could jump a car, a single car.
You always thought, today I think we could.
Never happened, though.
Think about it. Then we have this one. Please, God, please. Please, God, please. Let me see one more time, which I haven't seen maybe in 30 years. Just somebody driving down small town USA, right there, riding their bike with their best friend riding on the handlebars. The best friend riding on the handlebars. That was common.
That was pretty common.
Where's your bike? I got a flat. Just get on.
Just get on the handlebars.
Just get on the handlebars.
Yeah.
We're fine.
It was a big friend. It was
it was tough.
I mean, you always hope it was a little dude.
Yeah, but they rode on the handlebars all the time.
Handlebars.
Or the same thing too. Also, or you'd have one dude up on the bike and he'd just be standing and pedaling, another dude riding. That was common.
That
also.
happened.
But the handlebars is the one that's Please, God, please.
There's one other thing that I guarantee somebody's on the text line saying. Didn't you ever take a clothespin with a playing card and put it in the spokes?
Someone just texted that right now.
That makes the noise.
Engine sound.
Yeah, it makes the noise. Yeah.
I always did that.
Spokes.
That was the engine.
You took a little, like a clothespin,
Yeah.
and you hooked it onto the and it
made that sound too.
Good job.
How many times have you seen someone riding on handlebars lately?
Never.
See it.
I don't
see. I don't see
have.
wheelies. I don't see skidding. I don't see the side dismount. The no hands. People,
what happened?
Get your kids right. Get them right. Teach them some stuff. Teach them how it happens.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. No hands for over a block.
Over a block. Yeah, going pretty fast.
It's kind of like,
first of all, you can't go slow on no hands because you can't hold it. You're rolling.
It starts wobbling.
So you're going a pretty good tempo, no helmet, just no hands. just looking, just completely crashing and losing all your teeth.
The bike thing was amazing. And one thing we did too that, I mean, I hate to say it's a highlight of my childhood, but it was. We used to hook a skateboard behind, and it was like water skiing with a bike and a skateboard.
Yes.
So you have a rope and you hook it to a bike, and we used to pull each other all day long.
Yeah.
All day long.
Better times.
Better times.
Yeah. Better times. We have response. Are you any more on that at all?
I'd love to hear some of that. No.
Yeah, I'd love to hear
School
some.
parenting tips.
Sponsored
Get 'em
by
out there.
Dirk Scott and Ty at Mid Plains Advisor. What was the headline again, Bill? Please.
How to have a blast on your bike. Old school techniques. 1970s.
Response from the text line.
Good headline.
Let's see. Claytonia John says, riding on your buddy's handlebars or pegs in the back. Absolutely.
Pegs on the back.
That's true. Another one. Yeah,
baseball card in the spokes. Absolutely. Made it sound like a motorcycle.
Pegs on the back.
Yeah.
Big B says, I was the wheelie champ in the neighborhood.
Thank
I
you.
was. Yeah. Big B
I mean,
was.
when you could pull one up and just crush it for about a block.
And I don't know if you were advanced like this, but I could pull it up and I could go like this while I was going.
We go absolutely. Yeah. You kind of, then sometimes you go too far, then you just lose it.
Yep.
Bike, just lose it, let it go. It just falls over. You just let it go.
Let it go out from under you.
Underneath you. Yeah, you had to jump off the back.
Yep.
You had to jump off the back.
Patrick says these are spot on. Love it. Thank you, Bill. Someone says, Bill, the wood ramps were the best. Then measuring the distance.
Yes, the measure the distance.
Never worked.
And usually it's flawed. Like I said, most of the time it was flawed.
Never worked.
You had to get somebody's dad involved to really have a real ramp.
Yeah.
You really
then you didn't even know if you didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
You know, if it was real, it'd be like, okay.
I don't know. This is not
gonna require a lot
Someone
of speed.
says putting a Coke can on the tire. Is that a thing?
Coke can.
A Coke can on the
Yeah,
tire.
it was.
Okay.
It was. I can sort of remember that. The playing card made more sense to me. Keep going, Jay.
We got someone says, I am only 30, but these are hitting home today. Home run today, Bill.
I think kids. Do kids still do this? I don't know. I don't
see it. Like I said, I've not seen any. I've seen someone riding their bike by.
Yeah,
I've
bikes.
not seen a kid on a wheelie in 20 years. I've not seen someone skid.
been too long.
Spin it around. I've not seen the going with no hands. I don't see any of it. Especially on someone's handlebars.
And you had a racing slick on your back tire, didn't you?
I did, absolutely.
I just love that.
Sean in Omaha. Sean in Omaha says, "Preach, Bill. Best moments of my childhood were on my bike. We used to make berms in vacant dirt lots."
Yes, there's another good one. Yeah, that's get a little air on it.
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
Corey in Lincoln says, "A ghost riding dismount was the ultimate arrival."
Oh yeah, it was the side dismount. Yeah. The side dismount.
I ever did that.
Oh yeah, I did that a lot.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah, that was big.
Someone says, "What is the stupidest thing you've done on a bike?"
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think. Wouldn't it be? It'd be somewhere with a ramp type of thing. That's where it'd be. Or there'd also be times where all of a sudden you decide to go on some trip and like, hey, we're just going to ride to another town. We would do that.
I did that. I rode to Duncan once. It's 8 miles on the highway.
Yeah, exactly. On the highway. Let's go to Bancroft. Stupid. Just on the. Also, you just take off from the pool.
Right.
And just drive to Bancroft. Well, it's like 8 miles.
Right.
And you're about 3 miles into. You're like going,
what are we doing?
What are we doing?
And we can't turn back now.
No. Why do we get back?
No.
Better time.